Little end of the day review of some stocks that closed pretty strong in one bias or the other to carry over into the next day's trading. Real short and quick. Here's a quick look at the review at the end of the day. Some stocks I went through that closed still strong to the long or strong to the short. I got a list of 14s on the long here, 21 on the short side. I flagged the ones I like the situation the best to continue in that direction. And then this is my favorite list, which is about half of those for day trading. That don't mean I necessarily don't think the stock's going to go down. It's just I think it don't have enough ATR for me to be focusing on. Because I'm not in to scalp 10 or 15 cents. I'm in to get in a trade and stay in it multiple bars in one direction or another. So that's my favorite list of these, and you can pick them out from left and right on the short and the long bias. And I'm going to run through some of the charts off the favorites only real quick. Do the longs first and then the shorts. The APC was one of my favorites from the long list. Been sideways for 3 or 4 days. Needs to break out this trend line. Could do a pullback here after this many days, but I still like it to the long side if it breaks. DLR is probably one of my favorites. A little rest day on Friday. Volumes were real light on Friday, so not sure what's going to happen. Got the 200-day right on top of this. So still got some momentum. Could hit the 200-day and just totally reject, but that's the one I like the way it looks right now to continue up. You got a little more than $1 up into that, probably $1.50 in the 200-day. Now if this thing gaps up to the 200-day, you know, it can actually just totally sell off right there. I would rather see it pull back a little bit and then give me a better entry to head long up higher. TSRO, this could actually be something setting up for a longer term swing trade. It's down on the bottom here on the daily. This is a weekly chart. It's had a pretty good sell off here, been hovering around here for a couple of weeks on the 200-week moving average, and it's trying to give a little bit of my indicator to coming back out of that. And then on the daily, first little indicator here as well for a bounce watch scan, and I like the way it's looking setting up on the chart. We'll see what it gives us. On the short side, a lot more stocks on that side. ACIA's been selling for days, still looks lower to me. Here's your weekly chart. Amgen broke down through the 50. It's been holding it for a couple of weeks here. Looks lower. It's breaking into my, would actually be on some of our other alerts here, breaking into my bear zone actually to the downside. ANET, and be aware this thing can get spready on this one. It's done the run up, pull back, revisit, been hovering here for a while. It's actually set up like it wants to break to the upside, but my other indicators are telling me this is probably a short for tomorrow. It may be a sell off and then turn around and have a great big bounce, but I got it on a short watch for tomorrow. ATHN daily, again another stock that can be spready. Be careful, trying to turn down. IONS, it's been in a daily downtrend anyway, fighting the 200-day for days and days and days. It's kind of letting go. This one can be jerky as well, so you just need to be careful when you enter. You're sitting on the 50-day, or excuse me, the 50-week, and building momentum to the downside, and then you're sitting on the 200-day. KSU gave a couple of good trades, and it's just kind of sat here intraday and not done a whole lot for a few days. 15-minute chart. I think it's setting up to maybe let it go tomorrow, so I'm kind of focused in on that. That's why it's on my favorites list. It's had quite a sell-off here. We're back on the daily now. And there's your weekly rolling over. So I'm looking for maybe a day with some volume finally coming in the first of the year. PFPT, again, this is another stock can get spready, so you got to be careful. Maybe find a bounce, get in on a limit order. If it's too spready, ignore it. Don't get caught in a stock at 60 or 80 cent spread. Just go elsewhere unless you're looking for a swing trade. You know you're going to get in and you're not worried about it moving back and forth against you to begin with. But if you're day trading, you better pay attention to the spreads. PII looks like it's headed lower to me. This has been super thin some days, but it's ran on thin volume in either direction. RCL looks lower on the daily. SAFM looks lower. Let's take a look at the weekly on this. It had that big, probably a gap down here. Yeah, it had a gap down on the daily during this week. It's just sat here sideways. Looks like it's ready to go lower. Signet, I got it on a short watch for tomorrow, and it's been trying to work its way up. Got this little doji candle on the weekly last week. And here's your daily. Been chopping around here for a few days, and then another reversal candle. This looks like a short to me tomorrow. SINA rejected the 50-day, 2 days down. Here's your intraday action here. Just pretty big down push in the first 30 minutes, then just grinding its way down. TCBI sold off quite a bit at the open on Friday, based along under this support resistance line, 15-minute chart, and then sold on off. Here's your daily chart. It is pulled back to this support resistance line, so it could fool me and actually bounce right here. That number is 88.95. You got to be, if it gaps up and pulls back to 88.95, it could hold it. That's the support line. But right now it's closed below it, and it looks like more downside. TMO fighting to get through the 50-day, gapped above or opened above it. Did gap actually on Friday and sold down through it. Let's look at a bigger time frame, just basing here for weeks and weeks and weeks. And this was your gap up on Friday, sold off, bounced. This is just a 50 period on 15. Not that I traded, it's just on the chart because I use it on the daily. And VMW is the last. VMware. This has had a pretty good run on the daily. Been basing up here for days and days. Lost my upper pivot here on Friday. And it looks like it's got some more downside. Here's your weekly. This has been a really, really strong stock. But it looks like it wants to do a little pullback here, and it may take itself all the way down to the 50. A lot of these things I trade, guys, are good setups for just 2 and 3 day trades. If you like to get in, hold the stock 2 or 3 days and not day trade, like to pick up some options. Now these stocks here are not at the breakout points. They're just were biased to the downside. Some of them could have broke that way on Friday, but I have other alerts I run for actually the breakout on the setups, and these are just stocks that ended up in a downward or upward bias at the end of the day. They could have been there for days as well. So this is not the breakout scans. You start looking for those swing trades or multi-day little intra swings. Thanks for watching. May put out another video later tonight on the bigger setups, but this is just a good little watch list for for Tuesday. Subscribe to our channel, follow us on Twitter, follow us on StockTwits. Thanks for watching.